everybody. Welcome to today's edition of the Gamut Network. I have an amazing young man and his equally amazing mom on the show today that I am really excited to share their story. He's just really, really tremendous, and I can't wait for you all to get to know him. So with that, I'm excited to welcome Deirdre and Ryan to the show. Hi, guys.
Hi, Mindy.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Ryan, let me start with you. Can you share with us a little bit about your journey, your story, about life in Ryan's world?
Go ahead.
All right, I was born with one leg. I was actually born prematurely. By I think like 3 months.
Wow.
I was in the hospital for the first 3 months of my life. I'm actually a surviving triplet. When I was born. And growing up, like you like when I was young, it was fine. Like I was fine wearing like shorts and all. Kind of forgot that I had one leg, but then like through like 7 to like 10, it was just like I would go to school in like the spring wearing sweatpants.
Mm-hmm.
So scared to show the people who I am. But
And Ryan, were you with the same kids that you started elementary school with, or did you start meeting new kids that made you want to wear sweatpants, that you weren't sure how they were going to accept you?
I live in like a super small town, so I was with the kids preschool to like 8th grade,
Mm-hmm.
like the same kids.
So the same kids that have always known you in the way that you are, the way that your body is, but for you yourself, those ages were difficult because you needed to get comfortable. I'm guessing in your own skin.
Mm-hmm.
And so wearing sweatpants made you feel like you could hide it, or just feel like you look like the other kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And what got you out of that period? How old are you now?
15.
15. Oh wow, you're the same age as Oliver. You're a freshman in high school?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so big year,
Mm-hmm.
or at least a half a year. So what got you through that time, I should say? That's my first question. Second question is, where are you now emotionally, as opposed to where you were then, in terms of how you feel about the way your body is?
So we found this amputee camp going into like summer of 6th grade, and going there and like seeing everybody else not hiding their disabilities, and just like being with everybody that had their own differences, but like we're all together. It was like super special. So coming back from that, like like I was proud to be an amputee, kind of like.
I love that.
Yeah.
And it really is so interesting. In many of the interviews that I've had, the definite common denominator is finding community.
Yeah.
Finding those that truly understand what life is like for you.
Yeah.
And I say that from a place of, I haven't yet, unfortunately, found that for Oliver, because his condition is so rare that it's hard to even find somebody in the United States that has his form of muscular dystrophy that affects his body different than others with muscular dystrophy. So I look forward to that moment that he can find commonality and others that truly, truly understand what life is like for him, because I don't. I wish I know from a peripheral, I know what it's like to be the mom of, which is going to lead me to a question for you, Deirdre, in that, but I don't really, really understand, which is probably why Cam was that pivot for you, that you came back feeling probably a different level of confidence, feeling comfortable in your skin because you knew that there were others out there just like you.
Yeah.
But so Deirdre, kind of pivoting off of that, what was it like for you? Did you know in advance that Ryan was going to be born with one leg?
No, we had no idea. So I was pregnant with identical triplets, and that was very exciting. Our third pregnancy. So Ryan has two siblings. Molly's 23 and Jack's 19. So they're all 4 years apart. So at the time of being pregnant with him, I had an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old. So pretty busy.
Pretty busy, and you were about to have triplets.
Right. And that was a
Yeah.
shock in and of itself. And then started to have some complications and was put in the hospital, had no idea. I knew that there was a problem with the triplets. They were sharing blood supply. It's called triplet to triplet transfusion syndrome. So he could have had a clot in his leg. We're not really sure, but he lost his two brothers, and he was born a fighter because he should have been the sickest out of the triplets, and he survived. And he was, as he said, he was in the hospital for the 3 months. We were shocked to find out that he had a limb difference, that they said his right foot and lower leg were not developed. It stopped developing in utero. And then when he was in the NICU, we were told because it could have been a clot, he could have had clots elsewhere in his body, his brain might not be fine. And one who's not very optimistic usually, I said, no, his brain's going to be fine. He'll be dealing with a physical challenge. He's going to get through this. And amazingly so, he's quite a miracle. He got through it, and his brain is fine, although 15-year-old teenager challenge is there. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I mean, as I said, I have a almost 18-year-old daughter, and I think 15-year-old boys are, no offense, Ryan, but really have been way harder.
Absolutely. My 23-year-old daughter, no issues.
Yeah.
15-year-old boy,
Oh,
he
God.
was, I think it was 15 to about 17 or so. And he doesn't even recall that, because we'll say to his brother Jack, like, you were rough. He's like, no. I'm like, yeah. So we're like, you're pretty bad too.
So we're going to come out the other side is what you're saying. We come out.
Couple years, I think.
Okay. God, I hope I make it that far. So, I think this is, again, a wonderful parallel between us in that I had no idea that Oliver was born with muscular dystrophy until he started presenting, just, wasn't hitting any milestones. So, our new normals, so to speak, you obviously had no practice with your other two kids on having a limb difference or what life was going to be like, and either did I. So what did you lean on to help, this new normal that you had to experience?
Luckily having the other two kids, because we were so busy with them. So it was like, okay, you're going to be like everyone else. So you want to join soccer, it was just buck up, get on with it, be like everybody else. And I thought, as you had said before, you'll never know what Oliver goes through. I didn't know what Ryan was going through. And I thought, as a mom, and we're a very close family, I thought just unconditional love, he'll be fine. He's going to get through it. He'll have plenty of confidence, and he's going to do fine. And when he was struggling and wearing pants to school, and as you said, these were, you asked, are these different kids? And they were the same kids. Maybe once in a while you get a new student. But we were really baffled about his struggles to accept his physical difference. We were so accepting, and we got him involved in every able-bodied thing out there. So we thought, why aren't you okay with this? But as he said, I think it took finding that community and being in a place, camp, or if you were at a Runway for Dreams or somewhere where you're seeing other people with differences, you're not seeing the differences anymore when you're there.
Exactly.
You see,
they're just people.
Yes. And so my whole family was lucky enough to experience that with Ryan at camp. It's changed us all. It showed us that he has that special place that then he can bring everywhere else. Luckily through social media too, his help. That even when he's not at camp, he has connections now. He knows there's other people that have differences, and that's what helped him to accept his own. And as he said, to be proud of it. So,
I love that. And actually probably that confidence is what has led you to another path of being, a part of Runway of Dreams and Gamut and acting, and what has that been like for you? What is about this new exposure? What does that feel like?
It's like so cool.
What has been your favorite part so far?
Well,
Don't say the food.
Well, I've never done anything like this, so like just like I've always seen on TV or like on ads of like amputees or people with disabilities, and like I'd always look up to them. I'd be like, wow, that's so cool. And like now I have the chance to be that person for like some other kids.
Absolutely. And that can be a game changer, right? If you were a younger version of yourself and saw somebody like you, your age, a 15-year-old boy, in an ad or in a commercial or on a runway, I'm sure that would have changed your perspective at a time that you probably needed it.
Yeah.
7 and 10 years old, to know that the world is accepting you, that the world thinks that you are typical, normal, or whatever that means. And I think that's really one of the driving forces of what we are trying to do, is just, not only give voice and light to the notion that people with disabilities are just people, but also educating the world that there's an enormous population out there that should be part of pop culture, that is our culture, and someday might be the biggest part of our culture, the way that we're going. But I think that you're really a perfect example of that. And I know that you are also an athlete. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
What is your favorite sport?
I love wheelchair basketball. It's my second year doing it, and like, just it's my whole life I was doing like stand-up sports kind of, or just like able-bodied sports. Yeah, stand-up basketball, and it was hard because like I was on the bench most of the time, and just I couldn't keep up with them. So when I found wheelchair basketball, it kind of like changed everything for me. Like I'm trying to go to college for it, actually.
Oh my God, amazing.
I really want to get a scholarship for it. So that's like my goal. Like before wheelchair basketball, I've never been like so like motivated to like do good in school, just work hard, really.
I love that. And, I find that so fascinating. Did you have any reservations? And again, sorry, audience, but I have to ask these questions for my own personal journey. That were you hesitant at all to try the wheelchair basketball because you wanted to be doing able-bodied sports? Like, I wish so much Oliver would be involved in it, but he's so resistant to doing anything that isn't typical of, that he doesn't want to put himself into the category of people with disabilities. So I would love to give him a pearl or some wisdom from you, and I'm sure there's others out there listening that would benefit from this too. Was there any hesitation? And it sounds like you are so thrilled that you did it, that you made that leap.
Yeah, at first, like I got introduced to it probably around like 8, and it really didn't seem that interesting. Like, I love just going outside, shooting hoops, just kind of being with like a normal kind of team. But I met this one guy. He's an amputee. He plays wheelchair basketball, and just like trying out something new. Like even if you don't really seem too excited about it or whatever, just try it out. You never really know.
And try it again.
Yeah,
that's what happened. He knew of it, and then
I tried it out twice, and then like the second time, it was really like, whoa, I like this.
And you're good at it. And you're, obviously quite good at it if we're looking at colleges. And I believe that Indiana University has a great wheelchair basketball.
Oh, yeah.
And me, Mindy, as a parent, I think we were very hesitant because, as I said, it was always go out and do what everyone else does.
Exactly.
And he was never in a wheelchair.
What we're talking about.
He was never ever in a wheelchair. It was always put your leg on, go do whatever.
Yeah.
He never really even had to use arm crutches, just maybe around the pool or something. You'd have to use crutches because you're not wearing the leg in the pool. But so to put him in a wheelchair to do a sport, I was like, whoa, no. We've always told him, get out there and do it. And so that was kind of game changer for us because he was starting to feel the effect of being in an able-bodied sport and always being last. He does cross country also, which he doesn't love. But I tell him it's good cross training.
It absolutely is. And you do that with a blade?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is so fascinating. Did you play basketball with the blade also?
I tried it out, but I'd be just going too fast, so I couldn't slow down.
And you could backpedal, right? Or kind of go backwards in it.
Yeah. So it's really meant for running specifically?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was doing that, and then he does swimming, which Sadie could at least take us. He started that in high school last year, or last season.
I really like it.
Yeah. So to put him in a chair and do a sport, we were a little hesitant, but he just took to it right because he loves basketball, and he was loving stand-up, and as he said, he just loves to go out in the driveway, shoot hoops. So this was a vehicle for him to really excel at something or to want to try hard, as he said, and he's really pushing himself. And again, there's another whole community. You want to mention one of your teammates?
Oh yeah, Colton.
Oh my
Robinson?
Yeah,
Colton?
God. He's been on the show. Did you see his interview?
Yeah, we watched it.
I love him so.
He went to the same practices as
awesome.
Yeah,
so again, now we've met this awesome community of people, and it's just another area where he feels so free. And no one's looking at, your difference. Sometimes they talk about why they're in a chair or what happened, but other than that,
you can just be Ryan, right? You can just be Ryan is a really good wheelchair basketball player.
Right.
Oh, that's so exciting. How many times a week do you play?
We do it once a week. Because there's a lot of people from New England, some from New York.
Yeah, and New Jersey.
New Jersey, yeah.
And Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And we're in Connecticut. So they have to all try to get to one practice.
That is really fun. And actually, I think this is going to lead in very nicely to my final question, which I ask all of my guests, and that's about the power of a vision board. So whether it's an actual board that you put your hopes and dreams and wishes and what you want to accomplish in your life onto a board, or it's all in your head and heart. If we got to peek into Ryan's vision board of what is going to happen in his lifetime, what you're going to make happen in your lifetime, what would it look like? Who would you meet? What would you be doing? Give us some tidbits.
I like that question. I hopefully go to college. I really want to get the scholarship with it. Play wheelchair basketball, hopefully for the University of Illinois. That's one of the top 3 of schools that I want.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then hopefully be in the Paralympics.
Love it. I was hoping for that.
Yeah, maybe. Definitely in wheelchair basketball I want to, but possibly swimming too. I really enjoyed that. And I for a job, I guess. I'm a big basketball fan, so probably something with the NBA or with sneakers, work at Nike or something.
Yeah, let's make your own. Let's get the Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
That becomes a big trend.
He is a sneakerhead.
I like that. I see a visual of a big sneaker on that board. Super cool. Kids are lining up around the block to get it.
That's so cool.
On everybody's posting it about it. Yes. I think it's happening.
Yeah.
I love it. I love this. I cannot wait to sit and watch it all happen and smile at the success that you are going to have in your life. And it's been such a pleasure to have you both on the show. And actually, Ryan, if people have more questions for you or they want to reach out to you, what's the best way to connect with you?
Probably through Instagram.
Okay.
It's RJ Fitz. Oh, should I spell Fitz?
No, I think RJ Fitz.
13.
13. Okay, great. Because people might have more questions, or other kids, other limb difference community members might, want to fan stalk you or whatever they do. So we just want to make sure that they have an opportunity to get to know you. So thank you guys again so much for being on the show. It was so wonderful to see you. I always love speaking with you and seeing you, and it was just wonderful.
Thanks, Mindy.
If you would like to be on the Gamut Network, please email us at talent@gamutmanagement.com to tell us why you'd be a great guest. Please also make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Gamut Network, as well as follow us on our social platforms of Gamut Management. Thanks again.
Thanks, Mindy.
Bye.